thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 8, episode 16. So let's get into it. So before we get into it, we gonna get a little spicy, just a little bit. And I got like 3 things to talk to y'all about. So first up is Ashley. So Ashley, I guess, was real serious about doing music again, because this came across my timeline. We just gonna play it. We just gonna play it. Okay. All right, here we go. So that's not that's not the whole song, but that's part of it. So Ashley posted this to her Instagram. Ooh, to her Instagram, and it goes like this. It says, "Today was just one of those great days with amazing people. Thank you, Sheena, from being such a sweetheart and connecting me with Kevin Franklin's 27 and Landis Daniels. Healing and thriving is giving me the ability to just do that. Heal and thrive. Hashtag RHOP. Hashtag Vanderpump's Rules." I don't get it. I don't see. Here's my thing: is if we gonna critique everybody singing, that means we've critiqued Melissa from RH from New Jersey. We've done it with Luann when Luann was singing for her cabaret. We do it with Candy. We've done it with Kenya. We've done it with Nene. Like anytime the girls release music, we critique it. So I'm about to critique. Ashley, stop. Like I don't understand. I don't know if she's trying to have a career. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like she's just trying to have fun, which is fine. But it's just like it doesn't make sense to me. Like the singing doesn't make sense to me. This clothing line with Giselle doesn't make sense to me. When, girl, we see a Corona in your hand every single episode. Why haven't you partnered with any beer line, especially Corona? Like we haven't seen you with Corona. I haven't seen you with Bud Light, Budweiser. Those are the only ones I know offhand. I don't drink beer, so I don't know, but those are the ones I know. And I just don't get why you haven't like gained any partnership with them. Like even Lisa Barlow has a Wendy's commercial. I just saw it like right before I was like setting up to do the video, and it was a commercial with Karen, Giselle, and Lisa. And Lisa was getting ragged on by Mary because Mary said all you do is feed your kids Taco Bell and Wendy's. They ain't getting no nutrients. They don't got no nutrients. So I'm just like, if she could get a Wendy's commercial deal, why haven't you gotten a Corona one? Something, I guess. But shame on Sheena, cause girl, I hope you told her this ain't it. This ain't it. But maybe it's just, like she said, it's healing her. So maybe it's doing what it needs to do. Robin. So Robin was on Watch What Happens Live with Claudia Jordan. And they talked about the whole text message situation that was spoken about in this episode. So I'm going to play the clip of what Robin had to say.
What is the real reason you shared those text messages with a blogger, and what did they say?
So he was a mutual supporter of Candace and I, and he was really hurt to see our friendship go to pits. So he'd been in communication with Chris Bassett, who told him, Candace that I left her on red, pretty much. And I was like, okay, this is what he's talking about. It was just to explain why Candace claims she went to Twitter instead of just talking to me.
So that was Robin on Watch What Happens Live. And I think I know who they're talking about. I like the blogger, but I'm not going to say who it is because I went to see if that person like outed themselves, and I don't think they have. So I'm just going to keep it to myself because I feel like it's easy to put 2 and 2 together if you're on Twitter with said person, but I don't think a lot of people are like that. But yeah, I'm gonna just keep my like who I think it is to myself unless they decide to share for themselves. But I wanted to talk about this because one of the candy canes, that's what I called Candace's friends, the candy canes, and I call Robin's fans the Robinettes. Pretty much one of the candy canes, I guess, put together where Robin is like talking about. So, remember on one of the episodes, they did a screenshot of Robin's Candace's text message to Robin, where she's like, "Are you mad at me?" And Robin never responded, but the date is January the 23rd, 2023. Well, one of Candace's fans, one of the Candy Canes, found the thread that Robin, I guess, was talking about because the date is the same. It's January the 23rd. Um, uh, yeah, January the 20th. No, I think it's January the 3rd. I think it's January the 31st, 2023. Either way, it's around the same time where Candace sent the text message and got no response from Robin. So I just wanted to read the thread for you because what I find interesting about this whole entire thing is that at this point, I feel like both ladies are to blame. Like neither one of them are trying to take accountability for how they harmed each other, and they're just shifting blame back and forth. And it does make Robin look like a hypocrite to me because you've been going on and on about people using social media, or Candace specifically using social media to weaponize the fans against the ladies, but yet you were doing the same thing. And granted, the blogger never came out and posted the information about, you know, about your text message with Candace, but you didn't know if that person was going to do that or not. So it's kind of like none of the women on this show are any more a high ground. So trying to be self-righteous makes you look stupid to me when you got caught up doing what you're accusing her of doing. You just did it in a different way. And like Candace said, you were sloppy about it. But let's read the thread. So it says this. It says, "Wow, a thread. Our boss's favorite clapback when we're playing coy about certain aspects of our lives is you're on a reality show about your life. There's an expectation that doing no harm, we show up to this platform as our authentic selves. And while we reserve the right to be judicious about what we share, there is a special brand of audacity attached to individuals who knowingly bury the lead in exchange for damaging and salacious lies that stand to cause irreparable harm to innocent people. It tarnishes the integrity of the premise of the show. It tap dances on the intelligence of the viewership that champions our stories and discovers their own parallels in our lives. And when it's not that deep, it simply colludes amusement. It's not entertaining. It's not interesting. It's whack. Why be open or genuine or authentic when the least of us can rob our viewers of the truth and continually be rewarded for it? What are we doing? And a better question, what are y'all watching? And I think that's where it ended. Or that's where the screenshot ended for what they posted. So I guess that's the thread that Robin's talking about Candace, tarnishing her name and like coming at her and stuff like that. But I feel like this happened either before it got exposed that Juan was meeting up with the lady from Canada in the hotel room. Or, yeah, I think that happened before then. I don't think this happened around that time. I think in February is when we found out about like the lady. But I think that's the thread that Robin is talking about. And I just wanted to bring it to you to give more context to what we are watching. But I think that's all I got for our spicy corner today. Yep. So let's move on. All right, y'all. So the episode opens up and we're back in Potomac and we have the scene at Kiarna's wellness spa. Seems like a really nice spa. It's Wendy and Candace. Candace is getting her hoo-ha laced. They're doing LASIK or not, is it lasered. And then Wendy's getting her underarm lasered. So while Wendy's getting her underarm, side note, I was surprised that they showed the top part of Candace's, I said, girl. But she said it really didn't hurt. And she has no more excuses as why her and Chris can't, do because that's always her excuse that she not shaved down there. While Wendy's getting her underarms waxed, they're talking to her about her talk show. Mind you, I don't watch Wendy's YouTube channel, but I know a couple of people that have seen it, and they said it's a pretty good watch. Wendy is talking about how she doesn't know if she's going to have to fly people out from California and that some of her colleagues have non-compliance clause. But I was like, why would you're on YouTube? So what non-compliance would cause, like, how would that interfere? Because it's not like your YouTube channel is like one of the news YouTube channels, in the sense of like, what's that show, not that show, but what's that YouTube channel? I think it's like Turks and something, or keeping Turks. I think that's the news channel. Like, I feel like that would be different. Like, if that would be non compete, but I don't know. You just having a talk show where you just talk, like, candidly about different topics would be a part of non compete clauses or something like that. So then they sit down, and Kiana pretty much tells them that she was disappointed in the girls for not checking on her when she was dealing with her stomach issues, and that Giselle being the first one to do so, she was kind of surprised. Now, so here's the thing. I feel like I get where Kiana's coming from, where she's like, yeah, y'all are the ones who I'm supposed to be cool with and kicking it. Why didn't y'all check up on me? So I don't see the problem in Giselle making sure she's okay. But I guess where I'm losing Kiana is, like, you could tell that I don't know if it was genuine from Giselle. And the reason why I say that is, like, after that, she kept harping on, like, oh, they didn't check on her. Like, if it was a genuine, like, you're genuinely checking on the girl to see if she was okay, you wouldn't care that Candace or Wendy, like, didn't come and check up on her. Like, yeah, you might have said that to, like, Robin and them, like a flippant comment, but you said it multiple times, which makes me feel like it wasn't genuine. But then it also makes Wendy, to me, look bad, because Candace seems to be way more cool with Kiana than Wendy, even though Wendy was the one that introduced Kiana to us, because they keep showing that clip of Wendy saying, I'm not rooming with Kiana. But then again, I think Kiana, Wendy, and Candace got their own rooms. They just had twin beds in them while they were in the DR. But either way, it's not a good look for Wendy or Candace or Giselle, in my opinion, because Wendy and Candace didn't check up on her, and it seems like Giselle only checked up on her just to have something negative to say about Wendy and Candace. So it's not like you did it genuinely, in my opinion. Kiana brings up Robin and Candace's relationship, and she was like, I can tell there's a lot of love there and hurt. And Candace was like, yeah, but not so much. Now that she trying to say I'm doing things to defame her and I'm smearing her name, like, you're using those types of words when, girl, there's plenty of things that you have said about different cast members that if they were to get out, people would say that that's defamation. So, like, girl, don't do me. And she pretty much says she feels like Robin is like dog whistling for people to, like, have an issue with her. And I said in my spicy corner, I feel like at this point both Robin and Candace are wrong, because nobody is acknowledging how they've hurt the other one, and we are 16 episodes in, and neither one of the ladies has taken accountability of how they harmed the other. So at this point, y'all are just shifting blame back and forth, and nobody wants to say I'm sorry. So I just think it's stupid. The next scene we get is a pretty emotional one, but it is Grace going off to college. And it was sweet. I mean, I really didn't tear up when Giselle was crying, more so when the sisters were crying, because I remember crying when, when my parents left me, and my sister texted me, and I was sad because we weren't going to be able to hang out like we normally do. But it was nice to see the progression video of when we first met Giselle with her kids to her, Grace going off to college. I thought it was really nice that they even gave Grace her own solo, what's it called? Confessional, and I was about to call her Garcelle, and Giselle was able to ask her questions. So you can definitely tell that production really loves them some Grace, and I really do hope she's having fun at FAMU. I wonder what her major is. Like, I wonder if it's anything dealing with, like, entertainment, like marketing or communications or like journalism or theater, or does she have something totally different? Like, I don't know, like she wants to be like an educator or in science or something. That's like, I know that's like something I'm curious to know. But yeah, it was a nice scene, and Giselle did a good job with her kids. Grace seems to be very, like, caring and kind and very what's the word, open minded, and like very level headed. Like even when they showed the clip of like when Giselle was like, Karen is just sensitive about some joke I made, and Grace was like, well, maybe you shouldn't have told the joke. Like she just seems like she's a very like intelligent person. So I hope she is having fun at FAMU and she's doing well. So then we get this scene of Robin and what's it called? Robin at Robin's house, and we see Charisse and Ashley there, and they're just kicking it. Charisse tells us about how she normally gets her massages, and she has a man come over who does her massages. Now he's talking about he want to give me a vagina massage, and I was like, is that common? Charisse, stop acting like you don't be. I know people be trying to rag on Charisse. Like a lot of people just don't like her. They always reminisce, like say that she's like Eeyore from like Winnie the Pooh, but like Charisse is funny to me to a certain extent. And she also gives like very much like she probably be having fun and we just don't know about it. Charisse gives that she be having a good time, right? So she says she wants to have a crab boil. She's inviting all the girls. She wants to bring Jacqueline because Charisse and Jacqueline are actually really cool. And they were like, are you going to invite Karen? And Charisse was like, Karen the one that got an issue with me, but I'll invite everybody, to be honest. I don't know if she gonna come. And then she's going to also invite Candace because Charisse is cool with everybody except Karen. So then the next thing we have is of NECA. We find out that they found a lot of follicles on her ovary. So if you don't know, like on your ovary, they're your eggs, I'll slide in a picture, but it turns into this big like yellow thing that's called like a follicle, and then that's where like you produce the egg and all of that stuff. But we remember, I think they did a scene where a couple of episodes ago where NECA and Mia went to the fertility doctor and they found out she had a lot of follicles. And NECA was like, I know some people in my culture in Nigeria are going to feel some type of way that I'm not doing this naturally, but that I'm getting help. But technically, you are doing it naturally. You just getting assistance because it's not like they made an artificial egg and implanted it. It's like it's your egg, it's your husband's sperm, it's about to be implanted in you. So you're still gonna go through the whole process of like a baby growing inside you. So that's technically natural in my eyes. But I feel like production has done a disservice for NECA because she's not a real rounded character. Like, we've been following this whole fertility journey from the beginning to here, and it feels like the story is just so scattered all over the place. And I feel like they should have done better making it a solid like thread throughout the whole entire season. But that's just me. We get this scene of Karen and Giselle, they're coming together. Basically, Karen saw that video, and I remember seeing that video of Giselle crying at the airport after, putting Grace on the plane to head down. Oh, no, after she got on the plane to head back, I think, to Potomac, and she was just saying how she felt like she left something in Florida that she needs to go back and get. And Karen saw it and felt bad, so she told her to come over. Giselle ends up giving Karen some type of, I guess, like vitamins to help with like her heart with the plaque. And then Karen and her sit down. Giselle invites Karen to the crab boil because she's like, everybody is invited. Karen lies and says that Ray is allergic to crab or like seafood, but then they show her like 7 years ago he was fine, and then 2 years ago when they were in Williamsburg he was fine. So what are we talking about, Karen? Just say you don't want to go and you don't want to be around Charisse. But I don't get I don't get Karen's aversion to Charisse. Like if you say, because she's like, I don't like Charisse don't like me. Charisse has pretty much said, I'm cool with Karen. Karen got a problem with me. So I'm trying to understand what is Karen's real issue with Charisse, because Charisse hasn't said anything worse than the other ladies, but maybe it's because Charisse is not a full-time cast member. Karen doesn't feel like she got to play ball with the lady. But I was like, why miss out on screen time? Like, I would be on that screen. But Karen pretty much says she not going, so she don't go. But Giselle ends up telling her that Jacqueline is coming, what's it called? coming, so you might want to go. And we know Jacqueline is actually cool with Karen. We then are at Sharice's townhouse. There was this guy that was helping them, and then eventually I found out that that was her son. Actually, he's really handsome and like he's cute. So he was escorting everybody to the townhouse with umbrellas because it was raining that day. And I guess they were doing the crab boil behind the house, like in the garage area. So Candace shows up. Robin is there first. Robin at first was going to go open the door, but then she saw it was Candace and turned back around, being childish. Then Candace and Robin don't even acknowledge each other. Candace hugs Sharice and gives her a big hug. We find out that Wendy's not going to be there because she is accepting some award, I guess in like LA or somewhere. So she's not going to be there. Jacqueline pops up, and then I think Giselle and Ashley end up coming. The food is unseasoned, and I could tell the food was unseasoned. The crabs were, because there was no like spice juice on the cardboard paper, on the construction paper. I don't even know what you call it out. Where you like I said, Sharice, what is this? What is this? They said the only good thing there was the libations, was the guy making the drinks. But on some real, y'all, I've never been to a crab boil and the table isn't drenched with like seasonings, you know? Like the crabs are like have red sauce dripping, the potatoes are red, the corn is like orangey red from all the seasoning, the shrimp is red, the crawfish is red. Like Sharice, I'd have been in my feelings because don't get me excited for a crab boil and it's nasty. You just wasted good meat. Them crabs died for nothing. Like, why, lady? So NECA comes in. She has her Grand Dame tiara on. I thought it was funny. I'm not even gonna lie. Did I think the crowning was corny and stupid? Yeah, but her coming in with it, I kind of laughed a little bit. I ain't even gonna sit here and lie. I chuckled. So then Mia's not there yet, but Jacqueline's there. And Giselle asked Jacqueline, so how are you and Mia? And Jacqueline pretty much says that lady evil and we not good. We're not good. It is what it is. We're not good. And so Mia walks in, sees Jacqueline. Hi, Jacqueline. Like actually says hi to her. And everyone kind of encourages them to go have a sit down in the basement area. So Sharice takes them down. She says, y'all need to talk. So they actually talk. And pretty much Mia's whole thing is like she was only responding to Jacqueline. Like she didn't start it with Jacqueline. But Mia, you were not nice to Jacqueline. You were definitely playing that lady to the left. You had everyone believing that you, Gordon, and her were like swingers together and she was y'all plus one to the two. Like y'all was doing threesomes and stuff. Like it was real. Like you was letting your friend out there hanging out there to dry. Then Mia gets emotional and she starts talking about she's doing therapy and she says, I've talked about you a lot in therapy because, they've been friends for 30 years. And she ends up saying that, I think I have been mean to you or I haven't let things go because of what happened when we were kids. And Jacqueline actually says, I know what you're talking about, the essay situation. And, she was like, Jacqueline ends up saying the reason why I kind of let you slide on some of the things when you're being mean and hurtful to me is because there's a bit of guilt I feel about that situation. So, and Mia was kind of taken aback by that. Like, I guess she didn't realize that Jacqueline was being kind to her in that way, which is messed up in a sense of like, you're taking all this meanness and you didn't do anything, but you feel guilty because your friend got hurt. And Jacqueline was like, I would have never been quiet because Mia says, I think I'm just mad that everyone kept it a secret for so long. And Jacqueline was like, I would have never kept that a secret. I only found out like 2 years after it happened. So if you would have told me, I would have rode for you. You know what I mean? So they actually make up. Mia's like, can I get a hug? And Jacqueline's like, no, girl, not yet. But we can tell that they're friends now because they all over each other's social media. They're walking together. So this was a conversation that needed to be had. So I'm glad that they were able to find some type of clarity or get to a place of understanding. While Jacqueline and Mia come back upstairs after they have their moment. You have Charisse posing the question or saying a statement, basically saying she thought Robin and Candace would have been in a better place after going on vacation. And she was hoping for them to be able to move forward because, she noticed that, like, it didn't, as she said, I guess it didn't happen because y'all didn't acknowledge each other when you came in. And so then Candace shares that she found out that Robin had actually sent private text messages to a blogger that Candace sent to Robin. Robin's like, what's your point? I was explaining to him why we weren't friends anymore. And like Robin said on Watch What Happens Live, I guess this person was a supporter of both Candace and Robin, and they were worried or they didn't like how their friendship ended. So they were trying to figure out why they weren't cool. My thing is, why do you feel the need to show those messages? Like, here's my thing. And like I said in the spicy corner, none of the people sitting at that table should be so self-righteous or on some type of moral high, like compass or high ground. Because to me, Robin did the same thing she's accusing Candace of. You're saying Candace is weaponizing Twitter against or social media against the ladies or against the cast. You did that same thing because by you giving that person those screenshots, you led the door open for them to post it online and do whatever or curate a narrative to do whatever. And you didn't know if that person was going to do that. So just saying, well, it's not out there, it didn't come out there, doesn't absolve you, in my opinion, of what you did. It means that you played in the mud the same way you feel Candace plays in the mud, in my opinion. So, and also the audio production, y'all suck. I'm sorry. I don't want to say that, but this season y'all have been so sloppy with editing, like and it's easy to tell who you like and who you don't like when y'all do flashbacks. Y'all only show half of the flashback. Now we're sitting here while Candace and Robin are arguing, and Candace's mouth.
You shared our private text messages with this blogger slash podcaster to try to make me look crazy. You shared our private text messages with this blogger slash podcaster to try to make me look crazy.
But the audio is not succinct. Like, and then she's saying something, but we see the back of her head, so we know it's a voiceover. Y'all do better. Please do better. So Robin says she sent the screenshots to prove that the reason why they were no longer friends. Candace said, girl, you're a hypocrite. Like, you're a hypocrite. You're trying to nail me to the cross or have me out here looking crazy when you out here sending private messages. And then Charisse says in her confessional, she was like, Robin really cared about Candace, and it just sucks that Candace allows social media to ruin their friendship. I feel like it played out on both ends for me. Like, at this point, neither one of them are perfect or innocent, and like both of them have fault because neither one of them have taken accountability for how they've hurt the other one. Robin won't take accountability for how she hurt Candace. Candace won't take accountability for how she hurt Robin, and it's just them pushing blame back and forth. And at this point, I don't want to hear it no more. No more. So then Charisse gets mad. She started banging on the table, talking about enough. Like, I hate this. This is so petty. And so you got everybody else is laughing. You got Giselle being like, Charisse, how many drinks have you had? Because she got to be drunk. You have other people giggling and laughing. Mia telling Candace, oh, you held that in the vault for a while. And Candace says, yeah, because you're not about to have me out here looking crazy. Robin's talking to some lady that came to the festivities. And then Charisse is just banging on the table again. Pretty much Charisse wants them to get cool again or move forward. So then Candace actually gets up because she can't take it no more. She's about like crying. She got her triangle, trying to calm herself down. She was like, I cry all the time. Don't worry about it. Nneka follows her, and Nneka was like, it's okay. Like, she was like, I can tell y'all really do care about each other. And Candace is like, we just don't need to talk about it no more because there's not going to be any resolve. And Robin says the same thing, like, stop bringing Candace and our relationship up. Like, we can just coexist. So then Charisse leaves to like calm herself down. Candace is apologizing to Charisse, and I'm sorry I was yelling in your house. She apologizes to Charisse's kids and like some other people sitting at the table in the the kitchen. And then again, she apologizes. And she's like, you know what? I got to go catch a plane. And I think Jacqueline also checks up on Candace as well. And then Mia stands up and starts making fun of Charisse because she's like, Charisse, girl. Then Jacqueline's like, Charisse, this reminds me of Mexico. And they do the flashback when Charisse was slamming on the table arguing with Karen. And that's where it ends. That's where the episode ends. My thoughts are, because someone brought this up on Twitter where they said, like, with casting, like, if you had the ability to change the cast, what would you do? Like, how would you change the cast? I honestly would get rid of Ashley and Giselle. I would get rid of Ashley and Giselle and just add maybe one new person and keep Kiarna, Charisse, and Jacqueline as friends of. Because I feel like we have 8 housewives, and like someone said online, when you have too many housewives, somebody's storyline is going to flop hard. And the issue is we don't even have that many storylines this season. But I definitely feel like if you keep Karen, because Karen is the matriarch, but she's also the type of person that wants to keep moving the plot, moving the show forward. She understands that they're filming the show. Keep Karen. Even Robin is okay with coexisting with people she doesn't like. She'll interact with them, and she's okay with moving forward. Candace is trying to move forward, you know. She trying. But Candace is also the type that will still show up for work and still coexist with people she doesn't like. Wendy, not so much, but I would also keep NECA because I'm the type of person that believes that first-time housewives, unless they turn out to be racist or they just are horrible, then I think every first-time housewife should get at least 2 seasons to flesh out their character. So I would keep NECA, and I would keep Wendy, and I would keep Mia. So it would be 6. So you would have Mia, Wendy, Candace, Robin, Karen, and NECA. And then you could keep Jacqueline, Charisse, and Kiarna as friends. And I feel like the show would be different because it would be a new flow once you get rid of 2 OGs. Because I used to say demote an OG, but at this point, I think we just need to get rid of them altogether to have the show flow into a different direction, in my opinion. Drop down in the comments below and let me know your opinions. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic. Let me know how you feel about this episode and about this season. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.